you do that people call extra but ended up saving your relationship? I write everything down. Every conversation with wedding vendors gets recorded in a notebook with dates, times, and exact quotes. Every phone call, every meeting, every promise they make. My fiancé calls it obsessive, but he doesn't understand that some people turn lies into their profession. And that's exactly what happened with Nikki. I was thrilled when we hired her. Her polished website and glowing reviews promised our dream wedding would happen effortlessly. Finally, someone to handle the stress while I focused on being a bride. That fantasy died quickly. Nikki rushed through every meeting, constantly checking her phone, pushing immediate decisions. When I asked for vendor contacts, she'd get this patronizing smile and say, "Trust me, sweetie, I've planned over 300 weddings." Something in her tone made my stomach churn. I dug up the florist's number from their old business listing. Voicemail. The band's Instagram hadn't been updated since 2019. The photographer's website had obviously stolen stock photos. My excitement turned to ice-cold dread. My parents had blown their retirement savings. My fiancé's family was flying overseas, and we'd maxed credit cards for deposits. Sleep became impossible. I'd lie awake at 3 a.m., heart pounding, finding broken vendor links everywhere. I couldn't eat for days. When I voiced concerns, Nikki would get this satisfied look, like she enjoyed watching me unravel. She'd say condescendingly, "Paranoid brides always micromanage. That's how weddings become disasters." I found other brides online using the same planner. We started a group chat, sharing horror stories. One bride's florist had never heard of Nikki. Another's photographer was stolen stock images. A third discovered her venue address was an empty storefront. The pattern became sickeningly clear. Nikki targeted couples who'd spent everything because we couldn't walk away. I spread evidence across my kitchen table. Fraudulent contracts, fake websites, bounced emails laid out like nightmare puzzle pieces. 150 guests had booked travel. I sat on my floor crying for hours. Everything was ruined. I demanded a meeting. Nikki strolled in 20 minutes late, checking her phone like this was just another annoying appointment. I showed her the evidence with shaking hands. She barely glanced at it and shrugged. "These things happen. I'll sort it out," she said dismissively, like discussing the weather instead of destroying lives. When I threatened police, her face transformed. The fake sweetness vanished, replaced by something vicious. She screamed that I was a psycho bride destroying her business with lies. She'd ruin my reputation, sue me for everything, make my wedding a disaster everyone would blame on me being controlling. I wanted to scream back, but my hands stopped shaking. The other brides and I had built something powerful. Between us, we had evidence of $60,000 in fraud. My fear crystallized into cold, determined rage. At the police station, I watched the detective spread our binders across her desk. She said, impressed, "Most victims show up with screenshots and feelings. You built a prosecutor's case." Hearing her pick up the phone, I felt hope for the first time in weeks. They arrested Nikki 2 days before my wedding. The detective explained she specifically targeted high-pressure weddings because desperate couples stayed compliant. Her guilt trips and threats were calculated psychological warfare. When I heard about her arrest, I sobbed with relief. All that terror just poured out. 48 hours to save everything. I called vendors at midnight, voice cracking as I begged for help. My mom cried on phones with airlines while my fiancé frantically gathered emergency supplies. Then magic happened. Real planners reached out after seeing our forum posts. Vendors offered last-minute help. A florist Nikki had also scammed gave us flowers at cost. A photographer whose wedding Nikki ruined shot ours for free. I cried again, overwhelmed by strangers' kindness. We married in a smaller venue with grocery store flowers and borrowed decorations. But watching my fiancé's face as I walked down the aisle, seeing families celebrating together, I felt pure joy. Every person there was genuine. I still save receipts, but now they're in a memory box with photos. Sometimes I'm paranoid about contracts, but that's okay. Vigilance saved us. Nikki got 18 months and paid back everything stolen from 43 couples. At sentencing, the judge said, "You didn't just steal money, you tried to steal the most important day of these people's lives." But she failed. We kept our proof and protected each other. Most importantly, we transformed fear into power.